Hello and welcome back. In this series, I want to go through the entire Elyos campaign. I will not only explain the campaign quests and their meaning for the world of Atreya, but also tell you about all the important characters and their personal story. We will also include special places of interest that you always wondered about. And lastly, I will explain all the dungeons, their backstory, the reason we go and kill everything there, and how we follow up on our tasks after the dungeon. So lean back, relax, and let's start. Last time we helped out at the Golden Bow Garrison and learned about the Eracus Temple Cavern and its story, which involved two Imperial Lords and their child. Now we continue our journey, and again the desertification of Eltnen is the center of our problems. Due to our previous tasks in Eltnen, we learned that Eltnen was once a beautifully green landscape with a huge forest, but where there were trees before, now only remains dust and sand. This desertification overtook Eltnen more and more. Do you remember Lady Eustiel? We heard of her before when we dealt with the Manduri curse. In order to stop the desertification of Eltnen, Lady Eustiel created mystic springs. Those mystic springs stopped the expansion of the desert for many years. But now some of the mystic springs have dried up, and the desert once again threatens to claim more of Eltnen's land. The problem here is that nobody really knows how these springs work, and the Imperial Lady Eustiel isn't that easy to get a hold of. So we have to work together with some other Devas and figure out how to get the mystic springs to work again. After some investigating, we found out that the mystic spring has a lifestone at the center. This is the source of its power. But this lifestone is missing. Drakes came and took the lifestone away. As to why they would do this, we simply do not know. However, we hunted the drakes and retrieved the lifestone. Then we put it in the mystic spring and water flows again in the spring. But this is not the only spring in Eltnen. We have to spread this information to others so they can restore the other springs as well. The next spring is at a very familiar place to us, near the Golden Bow Garrison. Here we hear again about some old villains, the Lepharists. A Deva named Heratos tells us that a few days ago, Lepharist revolutionaries suddenly appeared and attacked the Mystic Spring. They slaughtered everyone, and while the Deva Heratos did revive at the obelisk, the humans that were here are now forever gone. As for the Mystic Spring, the socket of this one south of the Golden Bow Garrison is destroyed. But Heratos managed to save the Lifestone, and luckily there is another Mystic Spring east of the Golden Bow Garrison, which is only lacking a Lifestone. So we take the Lifestone and put it in the socket there, and water flows once again. As we report back to Heratos, he managed to get more Lifestones, restore other springs too, and sends us to the Kiola Temple, where we do exactly that. Even though the Lepharists' actions are troubling, the positive point here is that we restored many mystic springs and stopped the further desertification of Eltnen. As we make our way back, we hear rumors in the Golden Bow Garrison. Rumors that something is going on at the bottom of the Eracus Temple Cavern. Naturally, we have to sate our thirst of curiosity and investigate. At the bottom of the Eracus Temple Cavern, we find an artefact, and as we approach, a spirit appears before us.
Here you are at last. I have been waiting a long time for you. I'm afraid Eltnen is in grave danger.
What kind of danger?
Tell Actian the Shadow is under threat. He'll know the whole truth the one who has disappeared has spoken.
Not really knowing what this is all about, we go and speak to the archaeologist Actaeon. Here we learn about a priest named Philippimos. He volunteered to investigate the Keola temple, but didn't return. The people here are scared to go inside and to investigate, so instead they ask for our help. As we investigate, we find Philippimos dead on the floor inside the temple. On his body we find his diary, which covers his work as a priest that takes care of the Mystic Spring. But in the later pages, he mentions a man named Hippolytus that acted shady. However, a few pages are missing, therefore our information is limited. So we go and try to find the missing pages in the Keola temple. We got 3 of the missing pages and they tell us a lot. Philippimos saw Hippolytus do something to the Mystic Spring, and as Hippolytus noticed Philippimos, he charged at him. As Hippolytus dealt the fatal blow to the priest Philippimos, he yelled, "In the name of Lephar." Yeah, that's right, Hippolytus is a Lepharist. As we report this to Actaeon, he becomes angry and says we have to get rid of Hippolytus. We should talk to Deianira at the Eltnen Observatory and tell her the exact words of "the shadow commands it." We go and talk to Deianira, and while she is very reluctant at first about our plan of killing Hippolytus, the moment we say "the shadow commands it," she immediately says, "Okay, do it now while the other guards are busy."
Welcome. If there's anything you may need, just say the word, Deva.
I know everything you've done, Hippolytus. I know you murdered Philippimos and destroyed the Lifestone.
It wasn't me who killed him. I am only what I appear to be, a man of business.
It will not help you to deny it. Philippimos wrote down everything in his diary, and Actaeon has the missing pages. Face your punishment in the name of the Five.
Perhaps you're a shadow too. Well, I'm not afraid of you, Shadow, for Lord Lephar!
And with this, there is one less threat in Eltnen. But why are the Lepharists doing that? What is their plan? We will have to investigate further, but we will do that the next time. Oh, did I mention that the 2 guards, Deianira and Kibel at the Eltnen Observatory, are interested in each other? So, be a good wingman and help those 2. See you next time. Bye.